online business has been making $30,000 per month every month. If you're a coach or a service provider and you're not making the amount of money that you want, or it's not consistent enough from month to month, this video will give you a 3-step process to fix that. And you don't have to become an influencer, build a giant team, or wait months or years to make this happen. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Lili, and this is where I document my financial freedom journey. I've built a 7-figure net worth and a 6-figure online business centered around not just financial freedom, but time and location freedom so that I can travel, work only a few hours a day, and help thousands of other people do the same. But it took some time to get here. I had to make some mistakes, backtrack, and try to figure things out. Like a lot of people, I had the goal of hitting $10,000 per month. But what ended up happening is I would hit 3K and then get a bump up to 12K, but then I'd be right back down to 5, then up to 17, and back to 11. I spent a long time trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. And it was the common mistake of just trying to grow by adding more, offering more things, having more team members to help deliver on it, more time spent working, and just overall more complexity. But that's what kept me trapped in this inconsistent income. And a business that's just centered around you having to do more is not going to come with the time and location freedom that you actually need to be able to enjoy the financial freedom. So the system I use to make $30,000 per month is what I call self-funded freedom. And I'll walk you through it. But along with this video, I created a quiz for you to get your own personalized self-funded freedom business plan so you know exactly what part of what we're about to talk about you need to focus on first. The link for you to take that quiz will be in the top comment, or if you're watching on your TV, you can use your phone's camera to scan this QR code and it'll take you right to it. The first part of self-funded freedom is how you set up your business to serve your life, not the other way around. And the second part is the weekly and monthly rhythm that's gonna solve that lumpy or inconsistent income problem. So how do we set this up? We've got 3 rules. The first is that we focus on a problem we already know how to solve. There are a lot of problems out there in the world, obviously, but instead of chasing the latest viral business idea, the fastest way to make money is to use something that you already know. It can literally be a skill that you have, or it can be a process that you understand how to solve, even if you can't step in and do every step, because then you can hire someone to do the things that you can't do. But you have to understand what needs to happen. For example, this is what I did when I wanted to help business owners grow on YouTube. I know that editing videos is a core part of growing a YouTube channel, but instead of learning how to edit them myself, I just hired someone to handle that piece. It's also important that this problem is for someone who wants and can pay for it. I tried to start a laundry service for college kids when I was at Stanford, and I knew that this was a needed problem because on the very last day of freshman year, as we were moving out of the dorms, a guy on my floor asked me where the laundry room was. That meant he hadn't done laundry all year. So while I thought he needed to do laundry, obviously he didn't. Rule number 2 is that we want to be profitable from sale number 1. It's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. And by using the systems I'm about to show you, you're gonna keep a much higher percentage of your business earnings that you can then put into your personal bank account. And I follow the profit first system, and I use Relay business banking accounts to track and automate the flow of all my income. So shout out to Relay for sponsoring this video. They let you have multiple free business banking accounts all under the same business umbrella. The way I use that is when I get paid, all the income goes into my income account. I automatically split out a certain amount to go into my personal bank account, as well as to set aside for taxes, and then a certain amount to pay for my business expenses, such as my assistant, AI tools, subscriptions, mentorship programs, whatever. Looking at your expenses this way will make sure that you keep your business income and your personal income separate, but it also makes sure that you don't do all of this hard work to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per month, but then only end up keeping a tiny percent of it to put into your own pocket. And then the third rule of self-funded freedom is that we want to use what I call an AI-powered tiny team. Treat entrepreneurship like a team sport and don't try to do everything yourself. And what I mean by this AI-powered tiny team is you have a couple of humans on your team, but instead of trying to grow to 10, 20 people, you have maybe 3 to 6 people, and they are all equipped with AI employees, workflows, tools, and that allows your business to do the work and generate the income of a much bigger team, but you don't have to have the headache of trying to run a huge team, and you get to keep more of the money as profit for yourself because you're not spending it on a huge team. Once you've got these 3 rules guiding your business, deciding what to do on a weekly basis is how you level out that lumpy income. The very first thing to focus on is getting noticed. In a nutshell, not enough people know who you are and what you do. Everything else, which is going to be getting known and then getting paid, comes downstream from first getting noticed. You can get noticed in one of 2 ways. You can do things that will attract your ideal person to you, or you can go out and approach your ideal person and look to bring them back into your ecosystem. And remember rule number one, the focus of what you need to get noticed for is the solution you have to a problem that your ideal client is struggling with. We're not really trying to go viral here or just send messages about our business out to random people hoping that they might be interested in what we do. For example, some of my short form videos keep going viral on Facebook, but they're not going viral amongst my target audience. They're just going viral amongst people who want to argue in the comments about whether they prefer Airbnbs or hotels. That's not really going to do anything for my business, which is focused on helping coaches and service providers build these freedom-focused businesses. The most common way that you might attract someone is going to be with content. This can be long form, short form, you can appear on other people's podcasts, but basically you're creating something that someone's going to find on the internet and either read or watch. If you take the approach, then this is likely going to be cold or warm outreach. And cold just means that the person you're reaching out to doesn't already know who you are. You're a complete stranger to them. Warm means that they know who you are, but you're still going into their email inbox, their social media inbox, LinkedIn, to let them know you have some value to give them, again, around that problem that they're struggling with. Or if you're not going to send DMs, a huge piece to approach people is going to be paid ads. In my business, we post content here on YouTube, obviously, and we repurpose that content into short form videos for all of the different platforms. I personally think long form content is where you get the most bang for your buck, but it is difficult to consistently post long form content and wait for it to gain traction. So if you wanted to start with short form because you're early in the business, I think that's okay. You just have to find your mix of approaching and attracting different leads to noticing who you are and what your business does. Once someone notices your business, most people make the mistake of immediately trying to jump all the way down to getting paid. But this rarely works. Of all the people who notice you, only a small percentage of them are going to be ready to make a purchase at that exact moment. And even if they are looking to make a purchase, it's unlikely that the first time they come across your business, they're going to have enough trust in you to decide to make that purchase from you. In fact, Google proved that this just isn't how it works. For the vast majority of people, their purchasing timeline is going to follow what's called the 7-11-4 rule. And this is how we take those people who have noticed us and make them really feel like they know us by allowing them to interact with us for at least 7 hours across 11 interactions and in 4 different locations. So imagine if someone just found out about your business and they've spent 30 minutes reading your emails or looking at your social media profile. That will mean that you've built up basically half an hour in one interaction in one location with that person. There's still a long way for them to go to hit this 7-11-4, which is what Google has identified using all of the data they have access to, is what people really need to get to in order to have enough trust and know your business enough to feel comfortable making a purchase. Think back to the people you met in school or even coworkers at a job. At the very beginning, when you haven't spent much time with them, you don't really know them that well. It can be awkward. It can kind of like everybody's a little quiet or uptight. But as time goes on, especially as you get more hours spent with them and more interactions between you two, you will start to know them more. Now, will you like them? I don't know. But you start to know your classmates and your coworkers way more. And then if you think about the 4 locations, if you only saw that classmate in science class, but then the next year you had 2 more classes together, you would get a deeper connection. Same thing with coworkers. If you only see each other at work, but then one day there's a weekend pickleball tournament for your job, or you go out to the bar after work for drinks, you've now moved the relationship to a new location, which is going to deepen it. This is personally why I really like YouTube as a way to build up those 7 hours. But again, this can be a mix of any type of content, emails, blogs, interactions can go towards building up this 7 hours. I just think YouTube is the best place to do it. The 11 interactions is all about the number of times that someone comes back to engaging with your business in like different circumstances. So if you have a podcast, someone might put that on every time they drive to work. And that would mean they had 5 different interactions with you over the course of their work week because it was 5 different sessions. And then the 4 locations is different places around the internet or even in the physical world. And this is why a great second location to move people to is school. And then you can, of course, also do live calls, emails, or even in-person events that let people see you in all of these different locations. If this sounds like a lot of work, it's because this is what most people skip and just try to get someone to notice them and immediately jump to getting paid. But you can see how before you ask for a sale, if you build up this 7-11-4, by the time they see your offers in this get paid section, going to be much more likely to make a purchase from you. And then you have your offers. And there's a lot of ways you can structure your offers, but the two that have worked best for me are to have a low ticket option that is there to build trust and to create a logical next step to work with you. For me, I run a live challenge on Zoom that is just a couple $100s, and I also have relatively inexpensive courses inside of my community that people can purchase. Warning here though, these items are not likely to get you to $10, $20, or $30,000 per month. It takes a lot of couple $100 sales to reach that level. These low ticket offers are there to deepen trust and prove that what you have to offer is going to be valuable to that person. And if it is, then we've created kind of like this stair step to your core offer, which is going to be more expensive. This is likely your real moneymaker. This can be either coaching or some type of service. And my recommendation is that it's priced at least $1,500. Because remember, a portion of that is going to go into our personal bank account, but the other portion has to go to our business expenses as well as some to our taxes. So we want to make sure that we're not just making $10,000 a month, but we're keeping as large a chunk of that as possible. This is a 3-step business plan that has gotten us to $30,000 a month consistently and is going to help us grow to $100,000 a month and beyond. But remember, in the top comment, there's a link to that free quiz where you can get a customized version of this business plan for yourself. And of course, join my free school community and connect with me more there. Until next time, the link is in the top comment, and thank you for watching.